It's time to integrate that Qi Gong feel into your primal movement so you can continue to build that connection, that presence, and ultimately that trust to move how you want to move every single day. It's going to be a lot of fun, so let's hop into our warm-up right now. Set up in a wide base and sink into your horse stance. Rooting through the ground, doesn't have to be super deep, an opportunity to breathe and connect with your body in this moment. Making those subtle adjustments. Great opportunity to be with what is in your body right now, what you're feeling. You don't have to change it. You don't have to react to it. Just settling in. If you want something to do with your hands, your arms, hug that tree. Lengthening through the crown of the head, heavy down through the pelvis. Getting some heat going. Let's take this into some breathing. So we're going to sweep those arms down, sink down a little bit. Inhale. Exhale. Sinking back down into your horse stance. Rooting through those feet, planting and driving through the body on that reach up, and then settling back down into your base. If you have trouble slowing down and being present with yourself, with your body, with other people, great opportunity to practice that presence, slowing down and being there. Okay, setting up in a split stance. Doesn't matter how far the split is. If we're on a tightrope, that's a little bit more challenging, so you can always walk that leg out. And then we're going to sink down into an iso. So hanging out, breathing here, same thing as the horse stance, just making those subtle adjustments, rooting through the feet, grounding through those contact points, and breathing into your body. All right, maintain that connection through the base, and we're going to add a reach and pull. So I'm going to pull back through my elbow, look over that back shoulder, reach through the other arm, and then switch. And as much as we want that movement through the T-spine, if you check out my hips right now, there's a little bit of this reach forward, pull back, and then switch. Switching sides, setting up in that split stance, finding the base, building connection that you'll move through in about 20 seconds. Again, finding that base that makes sense for you. Rooting through that front foot, heel down into ball of foot, reaching through the back foot, and let's go ahead and add that rotation. So I'm pulling back on one side, reaching on the other, and then switching. Looking over the shoulder for a little extra rotation. If that's tough, losing balance, just find something to look at right in front of you. Got a nice tree here, zoning in. Okay. Whew. All right. Legs are probably feeling it. So let's take this opportunity to just bounce in place. Whew. Feel that connection that we built, that spaciousness, and then letting the other stuff drip away. The unnecessary tension. You can use that visualization of rooting through the ground and allowing that energy to trickle out down into the ground. There's a feeling of fullness in the body, but also emptiness. Okay, setting up back into that horse stance. So, doesn't matter how low you sink. I want you to be aware of the main limb of your body. So, heavy down through the tail, rooting through those heels, making those adjustments to find the hips. You may even be back here a little bit, and then allowing yourself whatever sort of soft extension you can provide for yourself with your eyes coming up. Trying to find that airplane. I don't know. Hug that tree if you need to. Checking in with that pelvis, the rib cage, and then the head lengthening through up towards the sky. Woo, this is cooking. All right, taking that heat, we're gonna inhale up, drive through. We get a little relief through the legs, and then we're sinking right back into it. Rooting through those feet, providing that platform for your spine, for the rib cage. Stay in it. I've got some shakes going right now. Maybe that's a little extra coffee today. Maybe that's connection, fatigue, heat building up in the body. Doesn't matter. Breathe in and feel it. Okay. So, doesn't matter which leg. I'm going to start with my right leg, finding that split stance. You can find a little bit more length and maybe sinking a little bit deeper. Again, manage your torso. Find that length through the posture and just let the heat build. Ooh, legs are cooking. Let's add a little movement, little distraction, pulling back on one side and switching. You saw me just mess up the hands there. Whatever your hands want to do, right? Palms up, palms down, alternating, whatever. Find those hips for these last 10 seconds. Woo! And let's go ahead and add the bounce in between this time. So a full minute, bouncing in place. Allowing that stack through the posture to form. Sometimes I feel like I got to go a little turtle shell through my posture, and then it's subtle, but eyes up, rolling the collarbone back a little bit, and now I can be a lot more open through the heart. But there's a lot less try in this posture, right? I'm not forcing it out. So finding those subtle movements, adjustments that allow you to feel more into you. All right, left leg forward. I'll go from the side, finding that base. A lot more heat in the legs. Maybe there's more accessible. No need to force it. Settle into it. Finding that spot that you want to operate in as we get into this rotation right now. Slow it down if you need to. Find those hips, find those legs. All right, and let's get one more bounce for good measure. Whatever you need right now, maybe your legs are super tired, root those feet into the ground, continue to do what we've been doing. And if you want a little more juice, take it into a bounce, a hop rather. I mentioned this in a couple other videos, but pick up on the different bounces or the stuff that you find yourself doing to just shake off some tension. Be creative with it. I throw in a lot of different stuff like this. It's literally just playing around with what feels good. And then, oh, I like that. Let's build it into the structure. All right, that is our warm up for the work set. We've got 3 base moves with progressions each round. I know you guys love that stuff. 60 seconds of work followed by 30 seconds of rest so I can show you, tell you what you're getting into. Let's hop into it. We're stepping back into that horse stance. So feet about double shoulder width apart. You can play with that. Feet can be angled out or pointing forward. Rooting through those feet, driving through those feet, making the connection up into the hips. From this position, we're simply going to take it into a figure 8. So I'm thinking pelvis coming back towards the center, pelvis coming back towards the center. I'm rooted through both feet, so I'm driving here, and I can root through that foot to kind of pull me into it. Right here, I'm rolling forward through my knees, but all that's happening through the hip, focused on that nice tall posture through the spine, eyes on the horizon. Now we're going to go ahead and reverse it. So when I come back over to this side, I'm going to rotate my pelvis back towards this direction and then switch. So now if you check out your knees, they're coming back. Again, rooting through the ground to build up that connection. Breathe in. Okay, awesome. Shaking those legs out. I know you probably are feeling them pretty good by now, but lots of work today. So next one, we're going to start with a little bit wider stance. It doesn't have to be your horse stance, but it's going to provide a little different element. We're going to take that back step, that superhero lunge, right? And then come back and then stand tall, right? So hand comes down, same side foot steps back, stand tall. Let's get to work. Driving through the contact points. So when you place that hand on the ground, root through it. Foot, hand, and then pull back through this hip. Stand tall. You can add this little rotation, elbow pulling back. Eyes up. You're going to promote a little bit more extension through the body, making sure we're finding that nice connection in the core by driving through the ground. Okay, sweet. Shaking those legs out, hopefully bringing that upper body into the picture. So next one, bear iso. We're gonna go big bear. So my feet are gonna be back a little further, hands are forward, but you can see I'm a little bit more spread out through my hands and feet. Loading through the hips, driving through the hands, breathing, holding this position. So think about these isometrics on the ground just like you would with that position that you're holding, like the horse stance. You're breathing into it, making those subtle adjustments, finding the hips, driving through those hands, creating length through the side body. Again, wide feet, able to really find the backside of your body. Oh man, ISOs are waking things up. All right. Whew. Shaking it out. All right, so we're going to take that pelvic feel, right, and apply it to our lateral monkey. So when I reach here, I'm going to pull back through this hip. I can plant the hand, this hip can pivot, plant the other hand, shuffle, boom. Okay, so plant the hand, pull back through the hip, and come into it. Ooh. Finding those hips every single time. I know you want to sink into that deep squat. It starts here, okay? So I plant the hand, watch that action. I'm pulling back, can load back here, plant the other hand, hop off with authority, pull back through the hip, plant the hand. And you can see I'm taking it a little bit slower to find that feel, that weight transfer, and that pull back through the hip. So clearing this other hip if that feels natural for you. Whew. Okay, building. What do we got next? Okay, so back step, boom. I'm gonna externally rotate this back hip, plant the foot, shift my weight, re-engage with the ground, step up, and we're into it. So step back, pivot, upright, back down to the ground. Let's get to work. And feel that weight transfer. So hand comes to the ground, I step back, I open up, I shift my weight back here, I pull myself forward, re-engage, step up, stand tall. Again, sometimes I tend to rush through some of the spots, the landmarks. So slow it down, feel each piece, and then you can start to transition really smoothly between all of them. From there, you can pick up the speed. So a little lesson of do as I say, not as I do, but sometimes it's good to see that slow down in real time. Next, we're getting down on the ground for that pedaling bear, and I'm gonna turn around. Perfect camera angle. So I drive through those contact points, and I'm gonna lead this pedal with my hip. So my pelvis reaches, I'm rooting through this foot, so I feel the rotation through the hip, and watch how I'm reaching through this knee, but keeping high through the pelvis. So I'm gonna switch sides, breathing as I go through it, and tapping into that rotation through the pelvis. So getting down on the ground in that bear position, rooting through the ground, breathing into the body, and let's start with that pedal, leading the way with the hip or with the pelvis. So I root through that foot, feeling connection up into my hip, and then my pelvis pulls back on that side. And it's important to realize it's not so much like a huge weight shift as rooting through those points, and then your pelvis is rotating. So the other piece to really focus on here is, can I really drive through my hands? And now I'm feeling that up through my lat, down through my arm line. So finding that breath as you pull and lead the way with the hip. Oh, okay, sweet. So, little step up with this one. If you can't get it, it's all right. Just do that lateral monkey. So same thing, I pull back through the hip, I plant the hand, and then I reach down. I'm ready to go for that kick through. Hopefully I'm in frame, pulling back, and then I'm ready for my other lateral monkey and kick through. So let's get into that. Pulling back through the hip, planting the hand, monkey, cross body plant, kick through, pulling back through the hips, finding the other side. Again, finding that pull. Oops, kick through works too. Lateral monkey, plant the hand, kick through. So find those hips, lead the way. Lead the way with the hips. Your instructor's losing the sequence. Ooh. So, little brain game there. Whew. Little extra stress. You may lose it for a bit. That's fine. All right, so let's go into that back step. Now, the only difference is when I step back and I roll back, now I can go onto the heel and go into a Cossack, stay high at first, plant down, step back up. So let's get into it. Reaching back, pivoting, finding those hips, externally rotating through this leg, re-engage with the ground, step up. Again, finding that nice smooth transition, plant the hand, step back, shifting the weight, pulling yourself forward, taking it slow, finding that coordination, and then feeling into the flow of it. Breathe into that body, active through the contact points, find those hips. Ooh. Almost there. We've got that last bear exercise. This one's pretty fun. So I'm going to feel into that rotation. So from the side, I'm going to be a little bit more underneath my limbs. I'm going to pull back through this right hip, pull this arm back, open up to the sky, plant the hand, and then lead the way with the hip, other side. Getting to work, again, leading with that rotation through the pelvis, opening up, driving through that arm for some nice active rotation through the T-spine. Great way to really feel into that side body that supports rotation and maybe a little extension in this movement as well. Again, rooting through all four of those contact points, feeling that rotation through the pelvis, opening up, driving through that arm, planting into the ground to really facilitate Some active rotation through the T-spine. Again, pulling back, find those hips. Woo, man, that is nice through the rib cage. Awesome work. We're gonna go into one last exercise, just a simple bear crawl, but maybe we can feel into some of that stuff that you accessed today. So when I get down on the ground, I'm gonna find those hips, and if I pull back on one side, right, I take that step forward, I feel a lot of load, and then I'm ready to do the same thing on the other side, pulling back through. All right, so I'm staying loaded in the hips, and I'm feeling that pull back on one side that feeds this internal rotation on the other side. Breathing into the body as you're going through this, rooting through those contact points. Totally fine to have your eyes down on this one. Just watch out for a wall, an obstacle, whatever. Whew. And then if you want to, you can reverse this. So when you reverse it, internal, I'm pulling back into external. So I load that hip, load that hip. That hawk really likes what I'm doing right now. I understand. Okay. Nice work with the bear crawl. Let's finish it out with a nice little pendulum swing. Finding that base again. Rooting through those feet. It feels really good right now to just really stamp those feet into the ground. Allow for that rotation that I opened up to really just groove, really. You just in it, your core is there. You've been working on some rotation, feeling into the body. Bringing those arms out in front, rooting through those feet so you can see, look, I've got that rotation through the pelvis. Pulling back, reaching forward, right? Pulling back, boom, boom, boom. So keep going with the rotation. Ooh. Man, I needed that one today. Hope you're feeling amazing. If you enjoyed the session, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you have not checked it out yet, the smoov app has over 100 of these workouts. Tons of options for you to build your strength and conditioning, your primal movement, your core and mobility, and also some really cool recovery practices. I'm running out of breath, so I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you next time. Stay smoov.